Here, this slide is discussing supervisors' roles and responsibilities. So, as an AmeriCorps member, part of the knowledge you're supposed to gain is, of course, the chain of command, who you need to report up to, when, why, and how, and a little bit about each and every person you may have to report up to. So, the first thing I'm going to be talking a little bit about is management style. I will start with our CEO, Greg Dent. He is definitely a stickler for timeliness and attendance. So essentially what I mean by that is letting someone know where you are at all times, whether it be, I had to take a long lunch to go to the doctor. That is completely fine as long as you ask permission. And when Greg comes and asks me or Caitlin where you are, we can give him a straight answer. Probably the thing we run into the most, at least with him, is definitely not knowing, or someone having not told us where they were, and then we have to explain that we do not know. It makes you look bad, it makes us look bad, and we just prefer to kind of stay away from that.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Of course, there are the rare occasions where it's an emergency. Me and Caitlin are 100% available via text.
Yeah.
If you ever need us for anything. A little bit about me and my management style. I do not like to micromanage people. I like to kind of let you learn as you go. But I'm 100% willing to assist you in any way that you feel like you need to be assisted. But I'm, again, a stickler for timeliness. Having all of your documents turned in on time is, yes, is something that will improve the process for Caitlin and myself, because we do have to file all that and report back to the state office on all of that. So the more you comply with the rules and regulations set forth in this PowerPoint and in your member contract, that will, move the process a little bit smoothly, more smoothly.
So not to copy Alex or anything like that, but just sort of to reiterate, like I'm sort of the same way in regards to management style. I don't really like to micromanage, but again, like if you need help or clarification on anything, like I do not mind asking questions, like, or answering questions. Like I would rather you ask questions until you understand completely, because I used to be afraid of asking questions, and now it's like, no, I would rather like ask more questions and over explain. That way you understand exactly what it is.
I would say a lot of this PowerPoint is definitely over-explaining. And that is just so, in case you have a question further down the line, you cannot, like, you don't have to hesitate to either come to this PowerPoint presentation or come to one of us. The information is made available for you all the time, 24/7. You should be able to access anything that you may have a question about.
Yeah. And I mean, we don't mind clarifying anything, because I'm that same way. It takes time to orient yourself to a new place, how people work, how things are to be done, that sort of thing. With that being said, like, what else? I'm pretty chill. Again, like Alex said, with the timing, it takes more time for us to like ask you to get things to us on time, and it wastes your time and our time. Obviously, if there's some unforeseen emergency, whatever, but the key to us is open communication.
Yes.
And text, like she said, text me, let me know where you are. So again, that none of us look stupid to Greg.
I would say you obviously see a very prevalent theme. Timeliness and accuracy of documents being, I would say, the number one most prevalent thing that we're going to ask you.
Yes.
We will never throw you into the gauntlet by yourself without any resources to fill these documents out.
No.
But with that being said, if we make ourselves available to you 24/7, we expect that you will put forth the effort and make sure that the documents are correct before you send them to us, and that you sent them to us by the due date.
Yes.
And that is the most prevalent thing you're going to see across this theme, across these management styles, is that we are all concerned with when it gets in and how accurate it is once you give it to us. And of course, with Greg your location and making sure that, and it goes back with the accuracy, that because timesheets and attendance all need to be accurate. You have to remember that you're using federal dollars, and that is money that people put into this program, that the American citizens put into this program in order to help alleviate poverty, and we have to be very careful and treat that money with the utmost respect.
Yeah, we want to be good stewards of that.
Stewards of the money.
Yep. Yep.
So next we're going to talk a little bit about scheduled meetings. Yeah, your supervisor, your site supervisor, should be having set regular scheduled meetings with you. It doesn't have to be every single day. I 100% don't realistically expect you to go see your site supervisor every single day, but you know, they should definitely be checking in with you at least bi-weekly or once a month, just to make sure that the program is running along and that you yourself are okay, because service does get a little hectic sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. And with that being said, like as your Vista leader, I'm always open to, I mean, if you have any concerns, you know, even if you just need to vent, I am technically, I am a licensed social worker, so we can schedule that. If that is something that you need and would like to have, I do offer that to you. If you wanted to meet once a week or once every 2 weeks, just to sort of debrief your, you know, how things are going at your site, or just, you know, if you need to vent or anything like that, I'm totally willing to schedule that. And that service is actually open to all AmeriCorps members. So I'm sort of the unofficial counselor or therapist in the office. So if you need that, that is available to you. And again, like we will schedule also site visits with each member throughout the year, just to make, like we'll come to your site, make sure everything's okay, just sort of catch up with you, and yeah, there will be a little document we'll have to fill out, but it's not
anything to be intimidated by. We're just there at site visits, number one, to make sure that your site is upholding their end of the MOU, which is essentially our contract. They're upholding their MOU by providing you what you need, and you're upholding your end of the bargain by providing them with what they need and what you signed up for.
Yes.
So that's what site visits are, but really they're very casual atmosphere in terms of meetings go. I see here that next on our list is communication, and we've touched on this a little bit. At least in terms of the communication with me, it is very open door. I have no problem with you trying to contact me, but with that caveat, you should try to handle things, say with your site supervisor, before coming all the way to me, the project director. There should be steps, and those steps, and you will see those steps, but essentially it goes you, your site supervisor, and then possibly Caitlin, then the project director, which would be me, Alex, and then if you feel necessary to go all the way up to the state level, which you will see a phone number at the end of this presentation for the state level, but I'm definitely 100% open to you coming to me if it is something you just do not feel comfortable talking to anyone else about. And I think Caitlin definitely feels the same way.
Yes, I do. Because we want you to be comfortable at your site. We want to make sure that what is happening at your site is appropriate, and that you do not feel like afraid to speak to us about any of those things. Yeah.
There should never be any sort of site supervisor not allowing you to speak to me or to a state representative of AmeriCorps. That is always an open line of communication. Of course, you do not want to go all the way up to the state office unless it's a very severe problem. But sometimes that happens with AmeriCorps programs. We've never personally had that happen, but never feel like we're closed off and that you cannot call me and access me at any point in time if you are ever feeling like you need to talk, and you need to get out of a situation.
Yeah.
Don't ever feel like you can't reach out.
Yeah, we're here to be your advocate and, or advocates, and basically champion you, because we want your AmeriCorps service to be successful. Because it is a year long, so it is,
Yeah.
it could be daunting at times, but we're here.
Mileage reimbursement policies are by site. So our policy at NGHP is to mimic the federal regulation on mileage reimbursement. So if federal regulation goes up or down, we go up or down with it. Your site may be lower, higher, and maybe exactly the same thing, but each site has the mileage reimbursement policy, and that we should follow that. And lastly, here is evaluations. Those are evaluations based strictly on your performance. Your VAD will be used a lot in conjunction with how you are evaluated. So they will be mid-year and in-year. They're not too difficult. It's just you'll be called in. Your site supervisor will, of course, help with that. They will know most of what you're doing. But your site supervisor will be there, I will be there, Caitlin will be there, and it will be an evaluation process. You want to add anything?
I think that's it.